What's going down, you guys? It's been a while. About to fire up this blunt. We'll see if anybody comes in here. See if this channel's still alive or not. I got some things to tell you guys. Gonna watch this beautiful sunrise. It's a cloudy day. Looking over the ocean down there. And I got some things to fill you guys in on. It's been a while, but for a reason. It's for a reason. Let's throw some more wood on this fire. You guys hear my chicken? The moon's still out. If you guys don't know, it's the coastline down there. I moved to Hawaii. I live in Hawaii now, believe it or not, in a fucking tent. Oh yeah, the story's gonna get crazy. Let's fire up this blunt. Get comfy here. Oh man, got a lot to tell you guys. Whole lot to tell you guys. I wasn't planning on doing. Morning, Gruda. My rooster's name's Gruda. Hey, what's up, Smokey? What's up, Jobos? Smokey RC, Rudy. Sorry, guys, I'm talking kind of quick because, well, I got neighbors and all my neighbors live in tents too, so I try not to be too loud, even though the roosters are going off this morning. Oh. Sorry, I look like a fucking caveman out here, fucking hippie, but that's because I live in Hawaii now. We moved off grid. We moved to Hawaii to live off grid. I bought 2 acres out here and moved my wife and my son out to Hawaii. We lived here before, but when we lived here before, we were balling. We were making a bunch of money, and we lived right downtown in Kailua Kona on Ali'i Drive, and lived a whole different lifestyle. I drank a lot of alcohol and partied a lot and chased money my whole life. And that's what we were doing, but things changed. I made some drastic changes over the last year, and that's why I haven't been on here. I haven't been doing no updates for you guys. I got fucking hair growing out my nose. I haven't looked in the mirror for a little while. So, you guys want to know what happened? You guys want to know why I stopped doing videos and why I wasn't uploading and all the crazy shit that happened? I'm sure last thing you guys saw was I was putting up videos about doing DMT and LSD, putting up videos about eating mushrooms and, you know, rolling blunts and all that. My rooster's going off. So I want to fill you guys in, man. Life is fucking crazy, and most of you are gonna think I'm fucking crazy, but you know what? This is the type of shit that needs to get out there. First off, I stopped uploading to this channel because YouTube jumped on my ass and they started blocking all my stuff. They demonetized my whole channel. I can't make any money on this channel now. Hit me with a bunch of bullshit about promoting drugs, but I'm not really promoting them. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's just, I'm just telling my story. That's all I'm doing. I'm just telling my story, and it just so happens to, and it involves a lot of drugs. And so most people have their own opinion about that, and instantly people think that if you're talking about drugs, it's a bad thing. It's not the case. And you know, I may be an old head now. I'm almost fucking 40. I'm like 37 or something. I forget how old I am. I think I'm 37. And I was raised up to believe drugs were bad and not to touch the fucking things and all that, just like most people. I came up in the dare era, right? And so I tried to stay away from most of the time when I was a kid until I realized that I could make a lot of money off of it. And so then I started selling drugs as a kid, and that's how I made money. And that's how I learned about drugs. And it was an innocent fucking curiosity, I guess you can say. And it led me down a crazy path. And now I'm almost 40, and I've learned so many things. And a lot of people that follow me think that I just like to do drugs and be a bum or some shit, but that's not the case at all. I'm actually doing pretty good for myself despite living in a tent right now. I'm doing it on purpose. And I know it's hard to believe, but I am. I'm doing it on purpose. Um, when I smoked DMT, it changed me. When I smoked DMT, it completely fucking flipped my whole life upside down. And as soon as that happened, I knew I'd never be the same again. And so I started learning things. Uh, at first, I thought I was going fucking crazy, and then I realized that I wasn't going crazy, but that um, I had activated more of my brain than I had ever had activated before, which seems strange, but that's what happened. When you smoke DMT, it's a very scientific thing that happens to you. It's not some weird magic high, right? It's a very real thing that happens to people, and most people that smoke DMT that I've encountered don't know what happens to you physically, nor do they really give a fuck, which is kind of strange to me. For me personally, I have a fucking hyper like level of curiosity. I need to know shit. I need to know what's going on. I can't just fucking smoke some kind of drug and then just be cool with the fact that I saw ancient deities. That's not cool to me. I need to know why that happens. So here we go. I'm gonna tell you guys. Once I spark my blunt, I hate just live streaming and trying to smoke. I'm sorry, guys. Most of you guys know that I have another channel. Some of you guys that follow me from that other channel. That other channel has nothing to do with this lifestyle. In fact, most people that follow that other channel don't even know I have this type of lifestyle unless they follow my social media, like Facebook, Instagram. They see me talking about this type of shit. But I don't put it out there all the time, right? On my other channel, it's strictly RC cars and fun family type entertainment. And it's been really hard for me to do that knowing what I know now. And I'm about to fire it back up and start doing it again because that's how I make my living, is off of YouTube. And so I realized that I piss a lot of people off because I don't follow the rules. I don't fit in the categories that typical YouTubers fall into. Most YouTubers, they come up with a concept, an idea, format for their content, and then they stick to it, and they won't break character for nothing hardly, right? And it's great for entertainment, but it sucks if you want to get the real person. I don't like acting. I'm a real motherfucker, so I do real shit, and I don't have anybody that I need to impress, and I don't need a bunch of money, and so I don't actually fucking care about making content to please you guys. Not to be a dick or anything, but I don't do this to please you or to entertain you. I don't do it to make money. In fact, like I said earlier, I don't make any money off this channel now. I do it because I feel there's information that needs to get out, and there's a lot of lies that go around in the world, and I know that all of you guys are aware of this. I've yet to meet anybody that believes that the world is just what it is. I've yet to meet anybody that trusts their government. I've yet to meet anybody that trusts their fucking religion 100%, right? Everyone has X amount of trust, but not 100% trust in anything, right? And the reason for that is because it appears that nobody actually knows the truth, right? And fuck, I don't know how to say this other than being arrogant, but I found the fucking truth. And when I found the truth, I realized there's only one place to get it, and that's from the plants, the fungus, the alkaloids that are found within them, right? That's where you can find the truth. And I know that's a stupid thing for most people to even try to wrap their head around, especially people that don't do psychedelics. They think I'm just talking out my ass, but I'm not. There's science behind this. As most of you guys know, if you smoke DMT, you wind up seeing things, right? And when you see these things, a lot of times they tie back to ancient stuff, whether it be Egyptian gods, Hindu gods, Mayan gods. People see elders, ancient faces. Um, they'll see little alien looking entities. They'll see things that remind them of bugs like cockroaches and fucking all kinds of shit, dragons and you name it, right? I've seen so many things I can't even describe it. You know, I've seen a lot of deities from a lot of different cultures, and deities I never even knew about. And so that always rubbed me the wrong way. How can I see these things when I was taught they weren't real, that they were just some form of mythology, right? And so let's talk about that. What is mythology? What is a myth, right? A myth is just an oral tradition, all right? That's all it is. It's just knowledge passed by oral tradition. And it usually involves ancient deities and mythical beings, right? Magical beings, unicorns and shit like that or whatever. And so because of that, most people don't take any of it serious. And the main reason for that was because you saw the volcano video. That's what's up. The main reason for that is because we were taught not to take it serious. When you go to school, they tell you it's a myth. It's not real. When you fucking read your history books, they tell you that stuff is myth. It's not real, right? There was no fuck King Arthur. There was no fucking dragons. There was no woo 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 woo, right? But I challenge that. I challenge that, okay? And the reason I challenge that isn't because I just believe anything. And this is a big issue I have with people when I bring this up, is they think that what I'm saying is based off of my beliefs, and it's not based off my beliefs. In fact, it's the opposite of that. I was tired of beliefs. I'm tired of people pushing their beliefs on me. I'm tired of people telling me to believe, have faith, and all this bullshit. No, all that's telling me to do is to follow something that I can't prove. And I don't like that. I'm not the type of person that's going to just put my fucking cards in a basket that I can't see. And so I need proof. I need evidence. I need physical evidence. And most religious people will tell you, well, there's no way to prove God's real. I fucking disagree entirely. Entirely. I believe that a 40 plus milligram dose of DMT will show you exactly where God lives and how God exists, and will also show you that you're an aspect of God. And that's a lot for people to take in. But smoke the DMT and you tell me, right? So, what the fuck is DMT? What the fuck is a psychedelic, right? Everybody wants to know. Everyone likes eating mushrooms. Everybody talks about acid. Everybody talks about all these things. But nobody wants to actually fucking learn what they are, right? What is a mushroom, right? What is a fungus, right? Well, fungus is a network, okay? It's a communication network, all right? It is a way for plants to communicate amongst themselves. If you've ever grown ganja, then you know about mycelium, right? And if you know about mycelium, then you know that there is a fungal network in the dirt, right? And it allows plants to communicate with each other through their root system. That's pretty amazing, right? That's nature doing its thing. All right, so what else does nature do? Well, if you guys study fucking math at all, then guaranteed you've come across the term Fibonacci sequence, right? What the fuck is a Fibonacci sequence? Well, Fibonacci sequence just so happens to be a mathematical code that's ingrained in every fucking thing on this planet. You and your finger, right? You and your finger, right? You look at your knuckles, right? How fucking the space between your knuckles, okay? That space between your knuckles just so happens to line up with the Fibonacci sequence. Orion's belt, Fibonacci sequence. The Pyramid of Giza, Fibonacci sequence. The way a plant spirals in the sunlight, Fibonacci sequence, right? And so, yeah, the golden mean. Okay, so some of you follow what I'm saying, all right? Mathematics is everything. It's the language of the universe, they say, right? Well, why do they say it's the language of the universe? People know they say that, but nobody cares to know why, right? Why do they say that? They say if God had a language, it'd probably be math, right? Not exactly, but kind of. Math is a constructive concept. Math is how things are formatted, right? Light creates matter with a mathematical format, all right? All matter is created through a mathematical sequence, all right? And all matter is a form of light, all right? And that light is vibration, all right? And that vibration carries a frequency, okay? So all things in life, it doesn't matter what the fuck it is a form of vibrating light at a specific frequency, okay? I went to school for mobile electronics when I was a kid. I used to do car stereos, right? When you go to school for mobile electronics, you're going to learn about Ohm's law and things of that nature. You're going to learn about 12-volt systems and shit like that, right? Well, one of the big things that you learn about is frequency, right? If you take a subwoofer and you hook up some speakers and you plug it into a wall, you get 60 hertz tone out of that, okay? 60 hertz. Everything carries a frequency. A frequency is kind of like a thumbprint, okay? It identifies your vibration, all right? The cool thing is you can change that vibration, all right? So some people will vibrate at one frequency while other people vibrate at another, all right? See what I'm doing? I'm talking, I let my blunt go up. Well, what does this have to do with me coming to Hawaii? Well, I spent almost 4 years dropping acid every single weekend. I'm not joking. I dropped a minimum of 3 tabs every weekend for about 4 years straight. Sometimes up to 8 tabs. 8 hits of acid is fucking enough to put you through a ride. And on top of that, I would eat mushrooms, usually at least a gram, but normally around like 3 grams of mushrooms on top of my 3 tabs. And then I would usually finish the night off with a DMT ceremony, or I'd smoke at minimum 35 milligrams of DMT while still tripping on mushrooms and LSD. And I did this every weekend for like 4 years straight. And in between those weekends, I would smoke DMT during the week by myself, usually like 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes more. And I did that consistently for a long time, and it showed me a lot of things, and it changed my perspective on life. And there's no way I'll ever be able to describe it to you guys, but maybe it'll inspire you guys to question life a little bit. One of those things that I learned is I learned about history, all right? I learned about the Anunnaki, right? I'm sure all you guys heard that term, Anunnaki, all right? But how many of you actually look into them and study up on what they are, who they are, and how they connect to anything in this world, right? I'm assuming not a lot of you guys do, but some of you probably, and those are the ones that I'm hoping are paying attention. But the Anunnaki are responsible for our existence, and I know that a lot of you might think that's a belief, but it's not a belief. This is a conclusion I came to after a lot of research and studying a lot of ancient artifacts and a lot of ancient languages. And when I say that, I mean I really study ancient languages, everything from Sanskrit and cuneiform to hieroglyphs to Phoenician, you know, fucking Hebrew, but not modern Hebrew, ancient Hebrew. I study Hawaiian languages now. And I say languages because when I say Hawaiian language, I mean like all Polynesian languages. There's similarities between them all. And I started realizing that there's truth hidden behind our language, that there's a reason why we speak English and we don't speak, you know, ancient Hindu, or we don't speak, you know, the Mayan tongue or anything nowadays. And the reason for that is mainly colonization, right? And colonization is always a touchy subject because it brings up the issue of race, and that nowadays is just like a fucking bombshell for people. It instantly sets people into emotional responses. Uh, what are some of these comments? Yep, pie. The morning fire with the full moon was beautiful. Thank you, bro. Yeah, every morning we watch these sunrises and they're fucking incredible. I don't do a fire every morning, but pretty often. But so what I'm getting at is this, all right? All cultures in this world are connected. All religions in this world are connected. All languages in this world are connected. And they all come from a point, right? Everything has a starting point, which means our languages had a starting point. Our knowledge had a starting point. These artifacts that we find around the world and megalithic structures and ancient temples, they all have a starting point, right? These deities, they have a starting point. The trick is to trace the timeline back, all right? And that was a hard thing to do, but I did it. And in the end, I found that all these religions, the gods they worship, they all turned out to be Anunnaki. Every single one of them turned out to be an Anunnaki deity. And that's significant to me, uh, very significant, because that means that the deities that I have seen in my DMT trips are actually Anunnaki. So that means something. Well, all these ancient cultures wrote about the Anunnaki. They wrote about their deities, right? Here in Hawaii, they write. And before they wrote, they passed it down through oral tradition, which a lot of people skip over the oral tradition, but oral tradition is actually more important than the writings as far as I'm concerned. But here in Hawaii, they have Kane, Kanaloa, they have Pele, right? Uh, uh, in Hinduism, they have Vishnu and Shiva, Brahma. They have uh, Kali, who is the Shakti energy of Shiva, right? You have, uh, Ganesha and Garuda and all these different deities. There's tons of them, right? And uh, Christianity, right? Most people in Christianity think that it's a monotheistic religion. It's not. Christianity is not monotheistic. And the problem is that most people that believe they're Christians don't know it's not monotheistic, right? It's actually a polytheistic religion. And the only way to know that is to actually go to the source material, right? What is the Bible, right? There's many versions of the Bible, but where do all these versions get their stories, right? Well, they get them from the ancient Hebrew text, right? The ancient Hebrew text is a little bit different than the English text, right? And when you read about the Elohim, right? Most people think that Elohim refers to God, the Christian God, but it doesn't. Elohim is a plural word, and it refers to many beings, all right? Yahweh is one of those beings, right? Uh, El, El Jedi, El, uh, just El, sometimes Baal, all right? That's another being, right? Uh, there's many beings within the Bible, right? And this is something that's commonly overlooked, right? And most people avoid the Bible because they don't want nothing to do with Christianity. And those that do follow the Bible are usually Christians, right? And they follow it because the church or whatever. But I found that most people don't actually read it. And I've read it, right? And in reading it, I've been able to find the parallels to the Enuma Elish, the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Epic of Ziusudra, the all the Mesopotamian tablets, the Akkadian tablets, the Babylonian tablets. I could find the connection to the Mayan Popol Vuh, right? And now, how would you know any of this if you don't read this stuff, right? If you don't read any of it, well, then it doesn't mean anything to you. It's fucking just nothing. It doesn't matter, right? What does this have to do with your life? Well, nothing, because you didn't read anything, right? Which means one thing, that you're ignorant, right? And now that instantly offends people, right? I won't be surprised if I see my numbers drop because I said that, right? People are ignorant, right? I was ignorant, and I can own that now. I was very ignorant. And what is ignorance? Ignorance is not knowing, okay? That's it. It's just not knowing, all right? And when you don't know, you do something to replace not knowing. You make an assumption, all right? So we just make assumptions about everything. We assume that nobody knows anything. And because of that, our assumption is just as correct as anybody else's. That's not true. That's not true. What is intelligence? Intelligence is knowing, right? Ignorance is not knowing, okay? How do you gain intelligence? Well, you have to learn, right? Well, most people disregard books for one reason only. They were written by men, okay? Well, if a book is written by men, well, then it's just that man's opinion and nothing more. Thus, there's no need for me to read it, right? And that's what most people think. Well, that's what I thought for a long time. And most people that I have debates with seem to have that same opinion. But here's the thing. When did men start writing books? Do you know? I doubt it, right? Okay, why did they start writing books? Where did they learn to start writing? What is a scribe? You see what I'm saying? People don't care to know these things. Well, these are all words that we use in our language. We should know them, all right? In the English language, we have many words. We should know what all those words mean if we're going to speak the English language, right? People don't know. I got a lot of Hispanic friends, right? All my Mexican friends, and my wife is South American, and I got a lot of friends from Central America, and a lot of Latin, you know, people, right, that I kick it with. And I've had to have a lot of talks with a lot of them because they all speak Spanish, right? And there's pride placed in speaking Spanish when you're from a Latin community, right? However, Spanish is not an indigenous language to any Latin community. It's not. Spanish is from Spain, which is a European community, all right? Why does everybody in South America, Central America, and Mexico speak Spanish? Well, that's because of colonization, all right? Well, if they colonize them and they speak Spanish now, right? What did they speak before, right? People don't care. No one cares. What does this have to do with me making money? What does this have to do with me getting a bag? Well, if you knew the truth, you know you didn't need to make money. You didn't need to fucking get a bag, right? Because before we had English as a language, we had our own language, right? And before we had capitalism as a way of life, we had our own way of life, right? And we were wealthy, right? You'll hear people say all the time, especially black folks. We love to say it, right? We were kings and queens, right? Well, we weren't the only ones. Mexicans were kings and queens too, right? Hindus, kings and queens too. There were a lot of kings and queens around the world, right? And all them kings and queens got conquered by the colonizers, right? Now, when I say colonizers, most people think I'm referring to white boys. Well, in general, but not exactly. There were black colonizers too. If y'all study up on the Moors, you'll know that a lot of Moors sold out and wound up working with the colonizers to actually colonize fellow black people, right? This is fucking shit that people need to know, but nobody knows this. Why do they need to know this? Because this plays into your daily life. Right now, every fucking one of you is dealing with this COVID shit. Every one of you. It doesn't matter what you think about it. If you're pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine, if you're pro-mask, anti-mask, boo-boo-boo, none of that fucking matters. What matters is why it's happening, right? And you can't know why it's happening if you don't know history, because it's not the first time it's happened. We're complicit. And we're complicit because we're compliant. You understand what I'm saying? We're complicit because we're compliant. And I'm not just talking about vaccines and masks and all that bullshit. You do whatever you want. I don't care. Everybody has their own shit. They can take care of themselves however they want to. That's not the point I'm getting at. This isn't political. My point is that politics themselves, both sides, all sides, okay? Both wings on this Byzantine bird, all right, are not good for us. They're not good for us because those things, those wings on that Byzantine bird, all right, they deliver us to something very ancient that none of us seem to know about, all right? And that's the mouth of Apep, all right? And you guys probably think I'm talking crazy shit. Well, that's because you haven't studied ancient Egyptian fucking hieroglyphs. But if you have, you would know that ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs and ancient Egyptian mythology goes hand in hand with American politics. And if you don't know why, that's because you haven't been reading shit. I know why, because I've been reading shit. You know why I've been reading shit? Because I smoked a lot of DMT, and it showed me that they've been lying to us. They've been lying to us, that the deities were real, right? I met many deities. I went in ancient places. I've traveled to places that aren't supposed to exist. And I did so in DMT trips that were more real than me sitting here talking to you right now. That raises questions, right? And there's a reason why those questions aren't asked in modern academia. There's a reason why every scientist that brings them up is then given the label of pseudo-scientist by their fellow fucking peers and shit in their science communities, right? There's a reason for that. But how many of you know that there are ancient Egyptian monoliths here in America? That there are 3 of them in New York City. That there are actually many of them around America. How many of you know that those 3 structures, those 3 ancient Egyptian monoliths, obelisks, right, in New York, are aligned perfectly in the what is it called, the Fibonacci sequence, right? Not only that, they're aligned perfectly with Orion's belt, which is also Fibonacci sequence, right? How many of you knew that? Right? Well, if you just pay attention, you'll see it. They put it under your nose all the time. You can find it on fucking TV. I think they put it on an episode of Ancient Aliens or fucking History something or other, right? You'll see it on there even, right? But nobody's going to take it serious. Why? Because it's a TV show and fucking it's ancient aliens. The guy looks like a goofball. Nobody fucking cares. But what if there's something to it? So look into it. And you'll find out, oh, those obelisks were paid for by somebody, right? They were paid for. Somebody in America paid to have a shipping company bring ancient Egyptian obelisks from Egypt, ancient Kemet, to America and set them up in the formation of Orion's belt. That's not cheap, right? Who would spend that much money to do something like that? Well, somebody with a lot of money, right? Just so happens to be somebody that's also printed on your money, right? The only non-president ever put on your money. Who is that? You guys know? Who's the only person that's not a president that's on your fucking money? It's on your money. What did I say? There are pyramids all over the world. Absolutely. And they all align with very specific things. You'll find them all on the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. Or the ecliptic line running between the two. Hope you've been good. Or I hope you have been all good, brother. Love your RC stuff. Recently found this channel. Interesting stuff. Anyway, I appreciate it, Slow Crawler. I started this channel a long time ago just to express my ganja side, right? Because I'm pro-cannabis. I've been an advocate for cannabis my whole life, right? You guys, you got to see this. It's so fucking pretty out here. Look at this. The fire in this view is fucking nuts. You can see the ocean. It's crazy. Anyways. So, yes, Benjamin Franklin. I saw somebody put it on there. Ben Franklin. That's right. Not Thomas Edison. Benjamin Franklin. Now, why was Benjamin Franklin put on your money? Yeah, he's not a president. Why? Well, if you know a little about his personal life, you'll start figuring it out. Who is Benjamin Franklin's best friend in the whole world? Any of you guys know? Put a lot more wood on this fire. Who is Benjamin Franklin's best friend in the whole fucking world? It's George Washington. All right, George Washington. Somebody said Freemason. You're getting to it now. All right. So, George Washington is Benjamin Franklin's best friend. Look at my beard, is all fucked up because I haven't even. Look at all my dreadlocks in my beard. That's how you guys know I've been living off grid for a long time now. I'm fucking out here, bro. I'm really doing this shit. Gaining my roots. So, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, best friends. All right. So I figured that out. Then, you know what I did? I read their memoir because back in the day, people had journals, right? Including Benjamin Franklin and George Washington. And in those journals, I found some information. You know what I found? I found out they was best friends. You know what else I found out? I found out they were plotting on some shit together. Oh yeah, they was plotting on some shit together. Right? You guys remember the French and Indian War, right? You guys remember that? You remember George Washington? He's got a piece of land, right, with a big house on it. Everybody knows about that. Whose land was that house built on, right? Well, it's built on Indian land. Why? Why'd he build it there? Well, because he wanted to prove a point. Because those Indians he conquered, we just think of them as Indians, just these wild savages that were running around, you know, in fucking loincloths with feathers in their hats, shooting bows and arrows, and not very smart people is how they were taught, or how we were taught in school. But that's not the truth. Turns out they're highly sophisticated. Not only were they highly sophisticated, they were descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. Oh, that's important, isn't it? Now, who are the 12 tribes of Israel? Most of you guys probably don't know nothing about the Bible stuff because religion sucks. I agree, and I hate religion myself. But I like research, so I read the Bible. I've read a bunch of stuff out of it many times. And, hold on. Find something to put on this fire. There we go. I'm out here doing farm boy shit. Alright. So, hold on. Take the blunt out of my mouth so I can talk. So, What was I saying? Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, best friends, memoirs, yada yada. Oh yeah, so what I was getting at, French and Indian War, all that. Hebrew Israelites, right? Hebrew Israelites were, according to the Bible, God's chosen people, right? So why were they considered God's chosen people, right? What about everybody else? Most people think the Bible is like about everybody. It's not. It's about the Israelites alone. Most of you guys have seen like groups of black Israelites out on the street yelling at people, getting all hype, right? Shout out to them, but even they are missing the point. Wow, the sun's about to break over. Look at this. I don't know if you guys can see that. I wish I could zoom in. Oh, I can zoom in. Yeah, the sun's about to break over the clouds. And if you look down here, that's the ocean down there. It's a little foggy this morning, but yeah, it's amazing. All right, so let's throw a bunch of random shit on this fire. See if we can get it burning some more. I'm trying to burn all this old brush. So I've been going through making trails for my other channel, RC channel. I do scale RC shit, and so I'm always making these. Scale trails for my RC trucks, and so I dig a bunch of brush up and shit in order to do it. Oh man, that's gonna burn me. Let's see if I can get that up there without getting burnt. All right, there we go. Where's my blunt? There it is. All right, so let me get back on topic here. Sorry guys, I was getting cold. We're way up in the mountains. As you can see, we're up here quite a ways, and it gets cold as fuck up here. You can see I got neighbors over there. They live in a tent too, and it's a crazy life out here. It's fucking crazy. Anyways, it's like living in a third world country where I live. So let me tell you guys some shit. Light this blunt back up. Sorry, I'm out of practice. Oh, I haven't done a live stream in fucking ages. All right, so Hebrew Israelites, why do they matter? Well, because that's what the Bible's all about, right? And the Bible, most people disregard it, but it actually does have some fucking truth in it. It's also got a lot of lies in it, right? And people are very biased, they're black and white on it, but I don't follow the Bible or anything. I understand the Bible, and that's the difference. I don't operate from belief, folks. I operate from understanding. So, Hebrew Israelites are what the Bible is all about. And the Bible tells the story of the Hebrew Israelites, and the reason it does that is because they're considered God's chosen people, right? God's chosen children. The reason they're considered God's chosen children, most people think, is because of the covenant, right? They're the descendants. You have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? And people split from these, this bloodline. People split all over, and all these religions are birthed from it, right? But where did Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob come from, right? Why does their bloodline matter? Somebody mentioned the Hopi. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So, why does that bloodline matter? Because that bloodline is the seed of the serpent. Sorry, I'm trying to get... Got a fucking fuzzy on my blunt. That bloodline is the seed of the serpent. Okay. Hey, baby, I got a blunt going if you want to come hit it. I'm live streaming, but you can come hit this blunt. Wife just woke up. So, the bloodline of the serpent, okay? This is going to throw people for a loop, right? Because when you think of the Bible, you think of the snake as being the bad guy, right? The snake's the bad guy. Because of the story of what? Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, right? Well, this blunt is getting fucked up, babe. I'm sorry. It's a little... I don't have... Oh, I do have my tools. Yes. I've got my tools. Can fix my blunt. So, all of this stuff I'm telling you guys about... What's up, buddy? All this stuff I'm telling you guys about... don't put him on a video, because I don't want any problems for everybody. I'll roll another one too. And we should start some coffee. Yeah, coffee time. All right, so in the Bible, the snake's a bad guy. All right, I've been slacking here. In the Bible, the snake's a bad guy. All right, well, the Bible gets all of its stories from ancient Mesopotamian tablets, Babylonian tablets, Sumerian tablets, Akkadian tablets, and that's where the Bible comes from, right? That and Gnostic Gospels, right? That is where the stories of the Bible come from. All right, and the stories of the Bible, the Gnostic Gospels, those things were written by Hebrew Israelites. Okay, who are Hebrew Israelites? Hebrew Israelites are those that follow the Messiah. Okay, who was the Messiah? The Messiah was Yehoshua ben Joseph, right? Yawahashi, Messiah, right? He goes by many names. Jesus. Okay, most people think of Jesus as this white dude with the beard, and you know the stories. But that's not who he was. He's actually a black dude, right? And he was a real guy. He actually was a real guy. He was a black dude named Joshua. Now this matters to me, or Yehoshua. This matters to me because that's my name, right? My name's Yehoshua. My name's Yehoshua Kayin Eliyahu, right? Which is Joshua Cain Elliott. All right, so that had significance to me, right? It made me care a little bit more than maybe the average person would, right? Just because the random alignment, right? Now, it doesn't really mean anything other than, I have a similar name. At least that's what I thought. But why does Jesus matter? Why was he such a big deal? Well, because he carried the seed of the serpent, all right? And not only did he carry the seed of the serpent, he was like what we refer to nowadays as indigo kids, right? So there's Gnostic Gospels. If you read the Gnostic Gospels, you'll learn that there's stories of Jesus when he's a kid, when he's a baby, when he used to go to school and shit, right? He goes to school with other kids. Well, my man straight killed people in school. He killed teachers. He killed other kids, right? To prove points, right? Mainly that he is smarter than everybody, okay? Now, he brought him back to life, but point is, he still killed him, right? So they don't put that shit in the Bible for a reason, because it can freak people out, right? But if you follow it back, turns out the seed of the serpent comes from a specific Anunnaki line, all right? What is Anunnaki? You have to break down the etymology, all right? Anunnaki, right? So Anunna, right? Ki, Anunnaki, all right? What does that mean? Anunna, on means heavens, right? On means heaven or sky, right? You could maybe say space. Ki means earth, right? Land, all right? So Anunnaki means those who came from heaven to earth, right? Now, this is pretty well known by now. Most people know this, right? But some people don't still. So Anunnaki means those who came from heaven to earth. Elohim is another way of saying Anunnaki. El is a way of saying on. Right? So Elohim is also Anunnaki. There was more than just the Anunnaki. There was also the Igigi. The Igigi was essentially servants of the Anunnaki, right? And they rebelled. And in order to replace those servants, they created humans, right? And they created humans, right? There was one person that was responsible for this mainly, and it was Ea, E-A, all right? And Ea is also known as Enki, E-N-K-I, right? Enki's got many names, all right? Enki also has many children, and one of his children is Thoth the Atlantean, right? His real name was Ninjatsitta, right? Ninjatsitta, Thoth the Atlantean. He also goes by Quetzalcoatl, right? In Greek, he's Hermes Trismegistus, right? The thrice great. All the same person, right? This is the man responsible for the pyramids. It's also the man responsible for the obelisk. He's also a man responsible for our languages. He's the scribe of the gods, is what he's known as, right? The one who was allowed to teach humanity. Now, this may seem like a bunch of mythology, right? Except for the stories told by every indigenous tribe around the fucking world in one form or another. Now, what does Benjamin Franklin have to do with any of this? And George Washington, right? Well, Benjamin Franklin got his hands on those obelisks, and he brought them to America, and he set them up in New York City. That matters, right? And you guys might have heard the stories of Moby Dick when you were a kid, right? Moby Dick, right? Do you remember the stories of Moby Dick? I know you guys, some of you have to, right? What was the name of those ships. Do you remember the whaling ship company in the Moby Dick story? If you don't remember, I'll tell you. The Boston Whaling Company, right? Now, what does the Boston Whaling Company have to do with anything? Well, it turns out that the Boston Whaling Company is the company that brought over the 3 obelisks. So it's not a myth, is it? That's funny. Not all myths are make-believe. Boston Whaling Company is a real company. And they really brought Egyptian obelisks over the sea. Now, why were they having a battle with a whale? Why? A white whale. Well, if you know in the ancient times, white is considered to all these tribes as a color of purity, right? It's a divine color, something that is only worn by priests, right? Royal people usually, but usually priest, holy people, right? Well, it's also, if you trace white back, it's translated in ancient times from the word shining, okay? So you'll hear a lot of times, like the Mayans, like the story of Cortez, right? They thought he was this great white god that was going to return. That's not the story. That's what they wrote. That's what the conquistadors wrote. The actual story is that they thought he was a descendant of the Shining Ones, okay? They thought that he might have been royalty passed down from the Shining Ones. The Shining Ones are the Anunnaki, all right? The white ones, all right? They're not white. The Igigi are white. The Anunnaki are actually black, and this is written in ancient stuff, but people don't, it gets into race, and then people get touchy about it, right? But that's because they don't go all the way, all right? We're all connected. We're all one people, despite our differences, all right? We're all one people. And the key is union, but you can't have union if you have ignorance. You have to enlighten the masses. So if you want to enlighten the masses, how do you do that? Well, you got to teach the truth, all right? George Washington, right, and Benjamin Franklin had those obelisks sent over on those ships and set up for a reason, right? Because they're expecting the return of the Anunnaki someday, right? They knew it wouldn't come in their time, but they knew that time would come in the following generations in America. And why do they think it's going to happen in America? Because America is not America. It is Amaruka. Amaruka, right? Amaruka is home of what? The Amaru Khan, all right? What does the word Khan mean? Dragon, all right? It's a serpent word, all right? What does Quetzalcoatl mean? Dragon, rainbow-plumed serpent. It's a serpent word, all right? Thoth, same thing, all right? Now, he's depicted as the ibis head, right? Also a baboon, but what does he carry constantly, right? Intertwined snakes, the kundalini, okay? The kundalini is also found where? In Hinduism, right? And what does Kundalini mean in Hinduism? It's the intertwining of the male and female aspects, the two energies, as they rise up the spine. How do you activate that, right? Through the chakras, right? How do you activate your chakras? Through the nadi points. You see what I'm saying? So this is an energy-based story. It's all about energy, all right? We are energy, all right? All of us are energy. Remember, I was telling you, light is energy. Energy is light, all right? Light is vibration. Energy is vibration. How do you measure it all? In waves and frequency. You see what I'm saying? That's all forms of mathematics. Mathematics are what? Geometry. Now, if you read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, you'll know all about 3 through 9, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 rules over the other 6. There's 7 in total. They're found where? In the halls of Amenti. This is all important. Nobody knows this shit, but they should, right? They should know this stuff, all right? They set up America because America is the new Babylon, right? In the Bible, it's the Babylon, right? This is the new Babylon, all right? I talk about it in the end times, the book of Revelations, okay? Now, that doesn't mean go be a Christian. That's not what I'm telling you. Christianity is actually the work of Enlil, who is the opposite. He is the evil brother of Ea, the serpent, our creator, all right? The Bible twists the story. All right, they make you think that eagles and things with wings are beautiful, great creatures coming to save you. That's not true. All right, Enlil is the all-seeing eye. He is the god of the sky. Right? He is the one that tried to kill us many times. The one that tried to save us is Enki, Ea, the serpent. That's why all these people worship the serpent. All right, In Hebrew, all right, the Israelites, you will see they have a star, the Star of David or the Morning Star or whatever you want to call it, right? It is the tetrahedron, right, or the tetragrammatron, okay? That star has 12 sides on it, each side representing one of the 12 tribes. We have 12 months in a year, okay? There are 12 deities in almost every culture, 12 titans, fuck, you name it, right? 12 is very significant. Why? Why? Right? Because all of this is cyclical. It's all according to the movement of the stars, right? It's why you have 12 zodiac signs, right? Most people know there's 12 zodiac signs. They don't know what those zodiac signs are. They think of hippie white chicks reading their horoscopes and shit, and it doesn't really mean anything to them. But there's more to it, all right? There's always more to it. Even in the Chinese zodiac, there is 12, right? That people know of. But there's actually 13 in the Chinese zodiac. And what is the 13th one? The hidden one? The hidden one? It's the dragon. It's a fucking dragon, all right? Quetzalcoatl, the dragon, all right? Ea, the dragon, all right? The Hebrew Israelites worshipped the dragon, all right? People get it wrong. Know how I know this? Because Yahweh is the fucking dragon, okay? Ding, boom, there you go. You have it, all right? The devil and the false prophet of the Bible are actually the good guys. And the God of the Bible and the angels are actually the bad guys. The fallen angels are the Igigi, the ones that rape the human women, right? Which are, it's a long story. You got to read the tablets. But the point is, everything that you thought you knew is fucking lie. I can guarantee it. Everything we were taught is a lie, all right? And there is a truth, and the truth is very much out there. And the only way I would have ever been able to find it was by smoking DMT. And I don't give a fuck what anyone says. It opened my eyes to the truth. I smoked DMT, and then I went and I read the history. All right. George Washington and Benjamin Franklin were Freemasons. Okay. Freemasons. Masons. Okay. Freemasons. Why Masons? Because architecture. All right. Why does architecture matter? Architecture. Where do the Freemasons come from? Right. The whole thing started with Solomon's Temple, right? Why is Solomon's Temple a big deal? Because it's this fucking amazing architectural structure that literally possesses power. You can generate power, right? The same thing that Nikola Tesla was trying to figure out, basically did figure out. That's why they killed his ass, right? Free energy, right? If you have free energy, they can't fucking harvest us for ours, okay? You ever think about why we chase gold? Why money? Why gold? Why capitalism? Right? Why? Right? Why? Why do you go to work every day, get a 9 to 5, go to work every day so you can get money? Right? Why do you get taxed by a government for that? Why does the government need money? Right? Where does that money go? Right? What do they do with it? What happened during the Great Depression? Right? If you guys know your history, you know that during the Great Depression, they did what? They collected precious metals. They wanted all of your gold. Right? In exchange, they give you food. What happened when they conquered all these lands, everywhere they colonized? They took the gold. Where'd all the gold go? You guys know, Fort Knox is empty. Where'd all the gold go? Well, if you read the ancient tablets, you know there's only one reason why gold ever mattered, right? We'll say now, well, it's because it's got properties. You know, it's got reflective properties and electrical properties, and it's malleable and all this stuff, right? Yeah, okay. Did they know that back in the 1400s, in the 1500s, when they started conquering people? Were they collecting gold for its electrical properties? Fuck no, they weren't. Fuck no. They're collecting gold because the Anunnaki have been collecting gold since they came here. That's why they came here. It's to collect gold. They collect gold, they pulverize it, and they put it in the atmosphere of their planet, Nibiru, right? AKA Planet X, right? They put it in the atmosphere of their planet, right? Why? Because of the elongated orbit. It gets really cold when it goes into deep space. And it gets really warm when it comes past the sun, and then gets really cold again when it goes out into deep space. It's an elongated orbit, okay? Well, in that orbit, it passes our planet every 3,600 years, okay? 3,600 years. And you go back through history, you'll find there's a cataclysm on this planet every 3,600 years. And the biggest one being 11,600 years ago with the Younger Dryas event, which you can learn all about if you study Graham Hancock, all right? Younger Dryas event is a big deal to me because it ran right through my hometown, okay? I grew up in that area. I also am not the only one. You know who else is in that area? The fucking Snake Tribe, right? Who are the Snake Tribes? Right? Anybody know? No, no. Aztecs, right? Aztecs, who were descendants of the Mayans, right? The Aztecs come from Aztlan, right? And there's many branches off uh, uh, the Aztec tribes, right? But pretty much all North American tribes are branches off of them, right? Now, the one where I'm from, all of a sudden I'm drawing a blank in my fucking head. Not the Paiutes, the tribe that Chief Joseph is from. If any of you guys have Google ready, just Google Chief Joseph and see what tribe he's from. That's where I'm from. All right, he's from Olawa area. I'm from John Day area. Um, Point is, uh, uh, it translates to snake tribe. Nez Perce is what he is from, but that's not the real name, right? Nez Perce is a French word, all right? The Nez Perce isn't, yeah, thank you, Nez Perce, but that's not their actual name, right? Nez Perce is a French word, and this is why etymology matters. Most people don't know that Nez Perce isn't their actual name. Nez Perce was a name given to them by a French conquistador. So if you guys look up the tribe in Burns, Oregon, right? Um, Post that in the comments for me if you can. If any of you guys can do that. I'm trying to remember. I don't know why I'm drawing a fucking blank right now. I'm having a brain fart. I haven't had my coffee yet. Anyways, this tribe is connected to the Snake River. Snake River is connected down all the way to Four Corners area, right? Four Corners area is old Atlan, right? Atlan. You guys want to know some crazy shit? All right, 12 tribes, right, of Israel. What's the number one tribe? It's tribe of Judah, right? Tribe of Judah. Break down the etymology of Judah, and you get what? You get Utah, 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 right? Utah is where? The Four Corners, right? Next to Colorado and Nevada and whatever, right? Arizona, I think. And Utah, Judah. You think I'm playing with you, right? Now, if you read the Bible, they have what? They have Mount Zion, right? In the land of Judah, right? Well, what's in Utah? It's Mount Zion, huh? Right? Yeah, you should look into it. There's 3 other mountains there. They're also in the land of Judah, right? Go ahead and look it up. Go ahead and look it up. Why do you think the Mormons moved to Utah when they first settled? Why do you think they went to Utah, right? Pilgrims. There's a reason for it, all right? Most people think black people came over on slave ships. Bullshit. There's only like 800 something people came on slave ships from Africa anyways. Most black people came from South America. Yeah. Native, indigenous to Americas. Amaru Khan. Why do you think the Olmec heads are black people, right? Now, this doesn't mean that black people and Mexicans and Indians are different. No, we are all the same. We're all the same. The only reason we look different is because of colonization, right? As the white man interbred and the Asian man interbred, right? You get a difference, right? Between black people, Mexicans, Indians, yada, yada. It's just the mixing with the different what they call Caucasoid races, which is Caucasians and Asians, all right? But when I say Asian, I don't mean indigenous, like Chinese people and Japanese people and stuff, because they too were black. Look up the Nagas, right? Look up Nagaville, Nagaland, right? This is a real place, okay? The Nagas is the connection. And we don't all come from Africa either. Black people don't come from Africa. We lived in Africa. We come from Mu. We come from Mu, M-U, and don't call it Lemuria because that is a made-up name by like James Churchward and people like that. No. Lemuria was made up to explain the travel of lemurs. All right. The real name, according to ancient oral tradition, is Mu. We come from Mu. Okay. That's why the story of Maui in Hawaii is also known to the Dogon in Africa. Right. Think about this. That's why Tahuti in Tahiti, right, is also Tahuti in Egypt. Okay. That's why the Nagas, the Dogon Nagas, right, are also found as Nagas in India and Nagas in Japan, right? Nagas in Indonesia, right? Think about this. All of them, rainbow plume serpent. Every one of them. Every one of them worship the serpent. They all speak different dialects of Proto-Hebrew or proto is not the right word. Proto is not the word. Just different dialects of ancient Hebrew, right? So this stuff matters, right? You guys, if you want to hear more of this shit, I literally started a channel where I am just going to talk about this shit. I'm only going to teach people these stories, the truth, right? And I can pop this doggone dragon, my man, Dracon as well, right? Draconia, right? Start thinking about these things, right? You'll start putting it together. Etymology is the trick, right? This is the key, etymology, right? Look at the old symbols. Take all the old hieroglyphs and start comparing them from different regions, and you'll start seeing the similarities. It's fucking mind-blowing. And then compare them to Hebrew, right? Now you see why the Hebrew Israelites are considered God's chosen people, right? Now, 400-year curse in the Bible, right? The Hebrew Israelites will be cursed for 400 years, right? The descendants, right? Most people think that was in ancient times. No, follow the fucking bloodline. It happened. Literally, starting like the 16, right? 400 years, curse of the 12 tribes is colonization. It is the colonization of the world, where all black and brown people that spoke that language, that worshiped the dragon, were conquered, colonized, had their sacraments removed, which were psychedelics, by the way, had their dances, right? Their mantras, their songs, their chants, their oral traditions, right? Broken away as much as they can. That's why they're taught different languages, like Latin and English, right? And they were put through indoctrination, aka school, right? And this was forced on everyone. And on top of that, there's forced interbreeding with the colonizer, right? And this was mandated by law, right? And most people don't know this. They don't fucking know this because they didn't teach it in school, right? And when I bring it up, people think I'm being a dick or I'm being anti-white. No, I'm half white. Can't be half white. My whole fucking family raised me as white, right? I'm not racist towards white people. I believe in truth. And the only way that white people and black and brown people are ever going to unite as one is to know the truth about who we are, where we come from, and who the fuck stepped in between us. You see what I'm saying? That matters, right? And if you know about the cyclical events, you know that the time is coming. The time is coming. 3,600 year cycle is up. There's another cataclysm coming. Hence all these motherfuckers having a space race right now, trying to get back into space. You know why? Because that's what they did last time. That's what they did the time before that and the time before that. It's written in ancient fucking tablets. They used to travel through space. I'm not fucking with you guys. Follow Roots of Blood, Leaves of Light on Instagram, all right? And on YouTube. That's my new shit. I'm gonna start uploading just live streams like this where I talk about stuff on there, all right? And don't follow me if you are fucking soft, because I say some shit that may offend people, that may upset people. I speak on religion, race, politics, all the shit, and I fucking turn it all on its head, all right? So if you want to see that shit, come check it out. I don't make no money off this. I would like to. That'd be nice, right? But I don't make shit off of this. I live in a fucking tent, you guys. Look at my chicken. Look at my wife over there, right? I got stray cats running around out here. I live in a fucking tent on the side of a mountain in Hawaii because Hawaii is the remnant of Mu, the motherland, right? This is my home. This is my homeland. This is my people. The Hawaiians are my brothers and sisters, right? These fucking Tahitians, Micronesians, which are actually Melanesians, not Micronesians, by the way. Tongans, right? Shout out to Tonga. Just went through some shit. Samoans. These are my brothers and sisters out here, all right? They are just as black as I am. They are just as brown as I am. They are just as melanated as I am. They are carriers of the serpent. These are descendants of the 12 tribes, as are any other black and brown people you see. Now, so are white people. But white people are considered Edomites, right? According to the Bible. Now, that is a fucking tactic to keep us separated. It is, right? It is. According to my research, white people come from two very specific places, right? There's one line of white folks that are descendants of the Agigi, which is the rape of the fucking humans by the Nephilim, all right? The 300 Agigi, right? They showed up at Marduk's wedding. They kidnapped a bunch of women. They headed into the fucking caves in the Caucasus Mountains, and they raped women, and they produced these offspring, right? That's one line. But that's only one. The other line is the line of Noah, which is also a black line, right? But Noah was a white man. He comes from a black father, right? And most people know through studying genealogy that all white people tend to come from black people. They can be traced back to Africa. Not all of them, but most of them, right? The only ones that aren't are the ones that seem to be with the Rh negative blood type, right? But most come from black roots, right? Even white people come from black roots, all right? Why is that? Why is that? Because white people are albino black people. And you can call me fucking liar all you want, right? But Noah was a white man that came from a black fucking father. Look at my Roots of Blood, Leaves of Light. I put up a picture recently of a white, red-headed kid. Got blondish red hair. White, African boy in the midst of his family who are all black, right? I put this up for a reason, right? Because we need to know. We need to know the truth. They're trying to separate us. They're trying to keep us separated. Like we're all different, right? We are different, but we're different for a reason, right? Because they fucking stepped in and separated us. We weren't all different before, right? The only thing different was the fact that some of us came out albino, all right? And there wasn't nothing wrong with that. It was considered a mark of reverence, right? A sign of things to come, okay? And this is written in ancient times, right? My mama was a redheaded white woman. My grandpa's a redheaded white man, right? I love them to death, right? But they don't even know their history, right? I have to teach them this stuff. You see what I'm saying? They should know this. You guys should know this, right? All my white friends, I teach them all this shit all the time. Some of them get mad at me, right? Some of them love me, though, for it. They fucking love me for it. Why? Because I wasn't too scared to tell them the truth. My phone's about to die, all right? White, black, brown, fucking whatever. We are all brothers and sisters, and we should all know the fucking truth, right? And we can't say shit like we don't see color, because we need to see color. We can't say shit like that. That's implying we're ignorant. We're not ignorant. We need to be awake. We need to be wise, not ignorant. We need to be knowledgeable. Knowledgeable. The word knowledge comes from gnosis. Gnosis means light. We are beings of light, right? The serpent is literally the fucking child of light, right? The morning star, the bearer of light, the light bearer, okay? This is why this matters, all right? Learn your etymology, learn your symbology, learn the true history. Don't be scared to study all these religions. You don't have to follow them, study them, and then compare them to each other, all of them. Don't listen to church preachers and shit like that. Go read the literature. Decipher it yourself. Trust yourself. That's how we come together. That's how we unite. Not by picking political sides, not by picking religious sides, but by removing politics and religion. Not by force, but through knowledge, wisdom, and education, so that people know they are no longer needed. We are better than that. We are one. We are a race of humans. All right? We all come from the same fucking thing. We were slaves. All of us, white or not, we were all slaves. Black or not, brown or not, we were all slaves at one point in time to these motherfucking Anunnaki. All right? And only fucking handful of them cared to free us. All right? Learn your history, folks. I love you guys. My phone's about to die. Leave me some comments and shit. Spread this around. I'm back. I'm finna do some shit. I'm gonna fuck some shit up. Much love, you guys.